A request, all the great beings, from the Pulse of Divine Eye clan who are within Ice Cliff Fortress at that point are so angry with that friend of Duandong River that they want to eat his flesh and drink his blood. They loathe him. The Divine Eye clan has 7 great miniature universes. In the first miniature universe, all 7 true masters are gathered together to monitor the progress of this round of inheritance. They envy Luo Feng and Blue Blood Knight for being so outstanding. They are disheartened because their own clan does not have any good candidate, but are also relieved and thankful that Sorcerer, Sprite Master, has been able to achieve a breakthrough of the second bottleneck at the very last minute, just as they are feeling out of sorts regarding this major opportunity of transcending a reincarnation era. An unexpected line comes from Duandong River, stating none from the Pulse of Divine Eye clan qualify and thus all must die. This immediately causes all 7 true masters to blank out, as though given a good slap right in the face. The 7 feel a surge of despair and anger, questioning why he must sever all chances for their clan to try to transcend reincarnation, why it must be so unfair. Now they know why. It is because of a request from a friend of Duandong River. Because this friend made a request. The clan has lost their chance to the extent that 2 great supreme masters and numerous elites have to die. They demand to know who it is, who the hell severed all their chances. First true master lets out a roar of rage, and at that moment the entire first miniature universe seems to undergo a mind-blowing change between heaven and earth with slight tremors. All other true masters are similarly in extreme agony and rage. Within Ice Cliff Fortress, there are 28 candidates from the Pulse of Divine Eye clan, all in despair, anger, grievance, and reluctance. Second true master transmits voice, filled with anger but still maintaining sanity, arguing that for this round their clan has abided with all requirements, warding off that monster Cuello, decoding the Rhinoceros Emperor game, all done without any acts of sabotage. And now, because of a request from someone unknown, their entire pulse is to be exterminated. Duandong River looks down at Ice Cliff Fortress and says in a detached tone that exterminating them is a small matter that he happens to have chanced upon. Second true master is still reluctant to give up and asks if there is no chance to change his mind. Duandong River merely snorts his reply, calling it ridiculous. Upon hearing his reply, second true master finally gives in to despair and shouts angrily that Duandong River is merely an old fellow who has died umpteen reincarnation eras ago, questioning who he is to think of exterminating the entire pulse, saying not so easy, and wanting to see just how great the power of a dead fellow can be. Seventh true master's voice also resounds, asking who that friend is, who would want to exterminate their pulse. Other angry voices shout as well, eager to know which bastard would cause the entire clan to fall into such desperate situation. Duandong River looks down and says no rush, that he will let them know, then points somewhere into the distance. One of the walls within the hall suddenly splits into 2, revealing a passageway. Every great being from various powers from Universe Ocean all look over, eager to know who could cause Divine Eye clan to fall into such predicament. Luo Feng also looks toward that passageway. He can vaguely see a blurred figure walking out slowly. He is covered in golden scales and takes the form of a human. Behind him he has a pair of golden wings, and 9 pairs of eyes sweep the crowd. But no one dares to look him straight in the eyes. Luo Feng is shocked when he recognizes the great being who stepped out as Thundercoat Devil God. Thundercoat Devil God is a lone wandering supreme master from the second reincarnation era. Among all supreme masters, he is considered average. And because he does not have a supreme true treasure, the true treasure Thundercoat made him a name for himself. It is merely a treasure like crazy demon extermination godly armor. Within Universe Ocean, he is one of the supreme masters who maintains an extremely low profile. Not only is Luo Feng taken aback, but all groups of powers from East Emperor Holy Land, Purple Moon Holy Land, and the 3 reincarnation eras are shocked beyond words. Thundercoat Devil God, who keeps such low profile that there is almost no news about him, is unexpectedly associated with wanting to exterminate Divine Eye clan. Second true master is still in disbelief, questioning if Thundercoat is the one who requested that Duandong River sever the only chance for his clan and even wants to exterminate the pulse. Seventh true master also cannot believe his eyes. Thundercoat Devil God is just walking out of the passageway. At times he shows a hideous expression. At other times he is laughing heartily but silently. He seems a little out of control. And the moment he raises his head in soundless laughter, his entire body slightly trembles. Through gritted teeth he says that it is him, that he is manipulating everything behind the scenes, that he is the one who broke off all chances for the pulse and wants to exterminate them, addressing second and seventh true master and the dozen masters with trembling voice. Seventh true master bellows that he deserves to die. Second true master also shouts at top of lungs that Thundercoat deserves death. In the great hall of Icecliff Fortress, voices are heard in succession. Thundercoat Devil God stands at the same spot with an aloof smile as he gazes at Icecliff Fortress. He retorts, asking if he deserves to die, saying they are the ones who deserve to die, that all of their clan ought to die. He brings up past grievance, recalling when they were fighting for a supreme true treasure. It was 7 true masters joining forces to lay siege on Kong Luo and him. How vicious they were, that Kong Luo died and he had to flee for dear life. He notes they were easy targets for bullies, without being powerful enough and without any supreme true treasure, indeed ideal for bullying. He continues that Divine Eye Clan is so powerful, throughout Universe Ocean, the only power comparable to 2 great Holy Land universes, while he is just a nobody with no supreme true treasure, how is he going to fight against them? That before them he stands alone and possesses no formidable power, questioning if he is considered anything at all. He then laughs crazily, saying they did not expect that this time all have fallen for his plot. Staring hard at Icecliff Fortress with eyes seemingly burning with flames, expressing surprise that he who stands alone with weak power could bring such great loss to Divine Eye Clan. A hoarse voice from within Icecliff Fortress asks why Duandong River would listen to him. He reveals with a cold laugh that it is because he is the very first one to enter this boat of mausoleum. Silence follows. Luo Feng and all are in great shock to learn they are not the first to enter after all. But Thundercoat Devil God, yet from looks of it he is speaking truth. All great beings just arrived at this hall. But Thundercoat had been here all along, and even made friends with Duandong River. Thundercoat Devil God laughs heartily and explains why the boat of mausoleum is here. He says it should originally appear at the core land of Universe Boat. The core where Supreme Masters do not dare to intrude as they only dare to traverse familiar regions. When Boat of Mausoleum appeared, not even one of them knew. He questions that if he as a Supreme Master, even until the end, is unable to receive that inheritance, do they think they stand a chance for a turn? This is why he struck a deal with Duandong River. In fact, all should thank him. His gaze sweeps through crowd and stops when it reaches Luo Feng, saying especially human Milky Way should thank him. Luo Feng merely smiles. Thundercoat also laughs and says he should thank Luo Feng too, thanking him for performing so well, for being among those with greatest potential, and for not letting Divine Eye Clan snatch first position away. There is silence throughout Icecliff Fortress. None of them expected that Thundercoat Devil God, who seems so harmless and weak without any supreme true treasure, could bring such great loss. Usually only masters at level of 5 Chaos Master, Shadow Dust Master, and Sorcerer Sprite Master would dare confront him in battle and would at most bring him to disadvantageous position. At this moment, all are aware they are in troublesome situation. Thundercoat Devil God says softly that he gave Divine Eye Clan a chance to enter. Let them rejoice and go crazy with joy, and then at most exciting moment he shall drive them straight to despair. He says if Divine Eye Clan had anyone who could emerge as winner at decoding the game, then he would have something to vex over. After all, Duandong River will not allow him to kill the one with highest potential. But their clan is so useless, they are destined for total annihilation. Second True Master, also in Icecliff Fortress, retorts with a cold smile, questioning if Thundercoat is not afraid of them. Who else could have potential great enough to be ranked number 1? Suggesting that instead of putting them in distress, he is actually helping their clan unknowingly. Thundercoat Devil God snorts and says, firstly, he does not trust the 3 reincarnation, eras and 2 Holy Land universes. Instead, he allowed their clan to be ranked first. Secondly, he is prepared that if Divine I-Clan were so lucky as to produce a great being of boundless potential, then he would rather face annihilation himself but drag that great being to death along with him. He turns to look up at Duandong River with a slight bow, asking pardon for disrespect. Duandong River nods slightly, saying he can understand. Thundercoat smiles a relaxed smile, saying this hatred has been kept in heart for too long and he finally has chance to voice it, telling Duandong River he may take action now. Duandong River nods in agreement. 28 great beings from Pulse of Divine I-Clan within Ice Cliff. Fortress start to panic right away. Second True Master roars, questioning if Thundercoat wants to exterminate them all, saying he would like to. See how this old fellow dead for umpteen? Reincarnation eras could have ability to exterminate them all. Thundercoat says they will know soon, his eyes flashing trace of sympathy then, snorting that after they are annihilated their supreme true treasures will belong to him. Second True Master and Seventh True Master bellow, challenging to see how powerful this dead fellow can be. Ice Cliff Fortress suddenly transforms into light and brings immeasurable power as it crashes toward Thundercoat Devil God. Duandong River looks down and points into distance, saying freeze. The surfaces of walls within entire halls start to release countless golden secret engravings, which take form of golden threads that converge in midair, then surge toward Ice Cliff Fortress in frenzied manner. Like silk over a cocoon, these golden threads wrap up the fortress layer over layer to completely bind and restrain it. Ice Cliff Fortress struggles with all might, causing surrounding void space to tremble, but countless golden threads restrain it with such concrete layers that there is no way it can force its way out. A voice is heard from within Ice Cliff Fortress, noting it is only restraining yet not exterminating, and that this supreme true treasure is after all truly a supreme true treasure. Duandong River looks down and gently points to ground, which instantly splits apart to reveal a deep abyss. Within that abyss, bouts of terrifying aura spread out. Ice Cliff Fortress, under restraint of countless golden threads, seems forced to move toward ground with entrance into abyss. He explains that secret technique left within this hall may not be able to exterminate them, but other dangerous lands left within inheritance will be more than enough to complete deed. He dismisses supreme true treasure as ridiculous, saying in his homeland there is no such thing as supreme true treasure, shaking head with a sneer. Ice Cliff Fortress struggles like mad. Inside, Second True Master and Seventh True Master bellow, but unable to stand against countless golden threads, pushing them directly into terrifying abyss. There's a loud crash, then bang and pow, the entrance of abyss closes, and area where ground split is returned to original state. Peace resumes. The aura alone dissipated by the deep abyss that Ice Cliff Fortress was dragged into is enough to instill fear within Luo Feng. He reflects that this ancient civilization that has been dead for umpteen reincarnation eras truly has very impressive methods. Indeed, a civilization worthy of creating universe boat. Just Duandong River's remodeling of Boat of Mausoleum alone makes it so terrifying. Over 200 great beings in the hall are listening intently, wanting to listen to voices from within Ice Cliff Fortress to judge what the fate of Pulse of Divine I-Clan will be. The discussion among them is that after all that is a supreme true treasure palace, it would be difficult to die in there. Some recall that in Duandong River's hometown, ancient civilization does not have such thing known as supreme true treasure. Others note writings found on countless true treasures belong to that civilization, so obviously those countless true treasures were left behind by that ancient civilization, and since Duandong River dared to say so, he is probably certain about it. Several question what no such thing as supreme true treasure means. Similarly, countless thoughts surge in Luo Feng's mind. He reasons that ancient civilization is incomparably powerful and has many beings more powerful than supreme masters. Even ancestors of two holy lands might not be a match for pinnacle existences of that ancient civilization. With such high field of vision, their way of viewing weapons would naturally be different. Based on his own experience within space of wings and various other adventures while roaming for years, he has come to know that supreme true treasures are also different in terms of strength, some strong, others weak. In eyes of weaker ones, they are unable to unleash ultimate power of supreme true treasures, so naturally unable to judge which is strong and which is weak. However, to ancestor of holy lands, to Duandong River, in hands of more terrifying existence, ability to judge strength of true treasures comes easily. Therefore, there is no such thing as a true treasure known to that ancient civilization. As for so-called supreme true treasures, ancient civilization has clearer way to differentiate them. It is just that differentiation method is of little significance to him. Because in current era, most powerful beings are supreme masters. As for ancestors of two holy lands, they have never stepped out of holy land universes before. Groups of powers from outside world are all suspicious whether these two ancestors are still alive or not. He nods silently, reflecting that Shiwu Wings was actually composed of 6 pairs of wings. According to snippets of memories from Spirit of Wings, there must have been 2 super great beings exchanging blows, and that caused Shiwu Wings to become damaged. For such incredible true treasure to be reduced to such state, how terrifying could those 2 super great beings be? The most likely guess would be great beings from ancient civilization. Upon comparison with ancient civilization, after endless reincarnation eras, deterioration of power is obviously severe, so inferior it might be rendered incomparable to that civilization. Just as Luo Feng is thinking about that ancient civilization, imagining how impressive it was, speculating why it disappeared with passing of time, the ground within hall splits apart again, and at spot where it splits, a terrifying aura is exuded. 3 streaks of light fly out, then suspend right before Thundercoat Devil. God. These 3 items are, namely, a fist-sized ice jade sculpture of Ice Cliff Fortress, a strange-looking beast statue, and a dazzling tricolor pearl. Duandong River explains these 3 treasures. Based on their method of categorization, 2 are supreme true treasures, and remaining 1 is more unique. It may not be as powerful as supreme true treasure, but he finds it quite suitable for Thundercoat. He tells Thundercoat to accept them. Thundercoat Devil God looks blankly at 3 treasures before him, his eyes reflecting complicated emotions. The 200-plus great beings, especially 5 Universe Supreme Masters, can tell at first glance. Jealousy arises within them all, but next moment there is uproar among them. They question if these 3 treasures mean pulse of divine. I-Clan has been annihilated, if 2nd and 7th True Masters, both within Fortress, have died. They note those Masters, who are able to self-destruct early enough, can rely on ability to divide bodies and increased chances of survival, but 2nd and 7th do not have other divided bodies, could not escape even if wanted to. These 2 Supreme Masters have their own supreme true treasures with them. How could they be killed so easily? They find it simply too terrifying that ancient civilization is simply terrifying. Over 200 great beings are smacking tongues disdainfully. To great beings, Supreme True Treasure Palace is absolute safe place unless one is so reckless as to charge into another miniature universe, try enter core ground, or tired of living too foolishly. Try to break through reincarnation era or doing things out of norm. If not any of these, then impossible to bypass protection of palace to annihilate existence living within. Field of Vision explains it. Based on Duandong River's field of vision, of course he would know there is no such thing like absolutely invincible true treasure. In his eyes, Ice Cliff Fortress. He speedily comes to verdict for strengths and weaknesses. Over 200 great beings in hall are surprised and envious. After all, they are talking about 2 true treasures and an illusion heart pearl, whereby illusion heart pearl is unique treasure suitably used for executing illusionary attacks. Also, it has function of guarding one's soul and is extremely powerful treasure useful for soul-related areas. Thundercoat Devil God is a born natural in execution of illusions, thus suitable choice to entrust this treasure to. Duandong River looks down and says, Illusion Heart Pearl will easily recognize him as master. As for remaining 2 supreme true treasures, if his willpower is strong enough, he can also get Ice Cliff Fortress to recognize him as master. True God Sector is only difficult 1. Getting it to recognize someone as master is extremely difficult. Needing to go back and ponder deeply, spend some time with it, perhaps may still succeed. Thundercoat Devil God nods with great excitement. He is not one to waste time either. On the spot, he quickly gets to task of recognition of a master. Process of getting Illusion Heart Pearl and Ice Cliff Fortress to recognize him as master is accomplished in 1 swift move. He sighs that he may have various pinnacle true treasures, but only one that is truly unique is Thundercoat. always being close to fighting and killing, but his skill of illusions never did have a good treasure to complement it. Now, with Illusion Heart Pearl, his means of attack are much stronger. Furthermore, with Icecliff Fortress as protection, his thoughts turn toward Divine Eye Clan. His 9 pairs of eyes twinkle, but with murderous shine. This evokes sighs from other 200-odd great beings. The poor Divine Eye Clan, with this great boost in power, would Thundercoat Devil God let them off easily moment he gets out. He is so filled with gratitude that he gives a deep bow to thank Lord Duandong River. Duandong River, from where he sits high up in throne, gives slight nod, saying they are done here and Thundercoat may also take his leave. As for other candidates, Duandong River sweeps gaze over other 200-odd great beings and announces that getting in contact with inheritance is going to commence right away. Once they get into contact, those who failed must die, and to die means annihilation of soul. Various bodies will all perish. All of his pulse must have a soul to be able to start cultivation, so he has chosen only those with souls. So naturally, he has means of dealing with souls. Over 200 great beings present are all in for shock. Indeed, Magicube instrument had been key. Rock Giant Master, Skeleton Clan, and few other life forms had been eliminated because they were soulless. As for other rock life forms, plant life forms who were able to enter thereafter were unique and all had souls. Duandong River says coldly looking down that only Milky Way and Blue Blood made it past 3rd bottleneck. 2 of them are most hopeful ones, and 4 who managed to break through 2nd bottleneck also have trace of hope. As for those who made it past 1st bottleneck, unless they display outburst of potential within short period, they will only be here to make up numbers. He continues that Thundercoat and other 5 Supreme Masters, he will send them off. If any here decide to give up, they should quickly make choice now. This is last chance. His voice resonates about entire hall in dead silence. From very beginning, Duandong River has given candidates many chances to give up and back out. So long as they did not get into contact with inheritance, there was always leeway, yet if they got into contact, that would change. Which is why this is last chance for survival. Even 2nd and 7th True Masters who hid in Icecliff Fortress were annihilated. Who else would dare entertain thoughts of being fortunate enough to escape death? Quickly, great beings start standing up one after another to volunteer retreat. Peng Gong, Master of Human Race from Primal Universe who managed to pass 1st bottleneck, another knight, and an undying godly soul all choose to back out. Huge Axe Creator instructs from Virtual Universe that they should retreat, that being able to make it through 1st bottleneck they have already proven extraordinary potential. Going on to vie for inheritance would only mean courting death. Their race has Luo Feng here, it will be pointless for both to go. Peng Gong is one of great beings supporting race. No need to meet end this way. They acknowledge understanding. Various groups of powers make speedy arrangements. Due to various reasons, be it to bring back true treasures, or because leaders unwilling to see certain great being from clan becoming ashes and dust. Regardless of whatever reason, number of retreating figures in that hall soars. A short moment later, in that faintly hazy hall within Boat of Mausoleum, number of great beings who decide to stay and continue to keep in contact with inheritance drops to 236. Others have decided to leave. Duandong River points far away, telling all to quickly leave. The floodgate of corridor opens. He shouts to exit through same route they came in by. 6 Supreme Masters, including Thundercoat, several Masters, and small number of Knights and Undying Souls, speedily fly through corridor and quickly disappear in distance. The floodgate is lowered to shut place off again. Remaining 236 great beings in hall are all resolute, thinking even if they die, they must send some information back. Luo Feng looks around secretly in deep respect. Out of remaining 236, it is fated for 235 to be annihilated. Only he and Blue Blood Knight have highest hope of survival. Other great beings are there to take risk, especially those who merely passed 1st bottleneck, almost as though there to meet doomsday. Every clan can rise and establish footing in its own reincarnation era because great beings of that clan are willing to stand out at 0 hour. In fact, all great beings made their way up from bottom and encountered countless life and death situations. They have long since looked upon death lightly and expressed more interest in whether deaths are worthy or worthless. For clan to be able to transcend reincarnations to attain eternal existence, dying would be worth price. Duandong River stands up and says, "All here are on path of no return, that it is fate's calling that only one will receive inheritance from pulse of Duandong River, telling them to follow him." He turns back to look at throne. The throne and stone wall behind it suddenly split, apart to reveal a vast and spacious, individual space where there are endless, splashing sounds of waterfalls, fragrance of flowers wafting through air, even faint chirping of birds and loud roars of beasts. He notes this is space of inheritance, of pulse of his Duandong River. There is remote quality to his eyes, and he slowly says almost every generation of great beings was here in this space to receive inheritance. It was just same for him. At the gate of Boat of Mausoleum, great beings like North True Star Master from Eastern, Emperor Holy Land, hear a cold voice when seeing candidates like Thundercoat Devil God and Taibu Demon Master quit. The voice tells all to get out of Boat of Mausoleum now. That gate is closing, and if they do not, they will not have chance anymore. The reaction is immediate, understanding that only one who is exposed to inheritance can survive and will be next Duandong River. Others will all have to die. North True Star Master and other great beings all start to fly out of gate. They make it just before it closes. Everyone sighs when they look back at gate. Attention turns to Thundercoat Devil God. Great beings say they admire him, cannot believe he is the one who planned this inheritance and made. Divine Eye Clan suffer huge loss. Noting Divine Eye Clan must hate his guts now. All watch Thundercoat Devil God, but none are hostile toward him. For one thing, he is reason they discovered inheritance. For another, he only made Divine Eye Clan suffer loss, in a way helping eliminate huge enemy. Besides, he now owns Ice Cliff Fortress, so almost impossible to kill him. With True God Sector, he will be one of toughest Supreme Masters in Universe Ocean. Besides, he is lone Supreme Master, so lots of powers would long to befriend him. Thundercoat Devil God snorts, saying he wants them to hate him. The more they hate, the better. He recalls he was already Supreme Master, yet still humiliated by Divine Eye Clan, and best friend Kong Luo was killed by them. He says he does not belong to particular race and does not ask for anything else. Only wants Divine Eye Clan to regret what they did and wants them all to die. All great beings are dazed, thinking poor Divine Eye Clan. His hostility toward them is so strong. Sorcerer Sprite Master reports to avatars of 5 remaining True Masters, saying Ice Cliff Fortress was drawn in abyss, and second True Master asked those who had multiple bodies to self-destruct to survive, which is why everyone with multiple bodies blew themselves up and escaped death. The survivors all describe what they saw, noting that abyss contains unbelievable power, and there must be techniques like illusions, and that second and seventh True Master could not withstand it. 5 True Masters cannot look more upset. They already know what happened. This was greatest chance for Divine Eye Clan to transcend incarnations. Yet Thundercoat Devil God showed up and not only took away opportunity, but also killed second and seventh True Master. 2 Supreme Masters and 2 important True Treasures lost. 7 True Masters had combined technique before. However, after deaths of 2 of them, their power tumbles. 6th True Master looks belligerent. 5th True Master roars that Thundercoat dared to destroy hope and should have been killed. 3rd True Master says who could have expected him to be lucky enough to find Boat of Mausoleum. First, noting he is mediocre Supreme Master who has no Supreme True Treasures and did not avenge himself. After what happened, he is just lucky. Otherwise, it would not have happened. Cursing that he destroyed biggest chance and killed 7th and 2nd. 1st True Master whispers, looking agonized, mentioning 2nd and 7th brother. 5th True Master says furiously, if they cannot transcend incarnations, they need to at least die with Thundercoat. 1st True Master opens eyes and shakes head, telling them to calm down, saying that should not be their concern. They are approaching true death, so need to fight for chance to survive. If they cannot transcend incarnation, their glory will go away forever, and nobody will remember who they are after. Couple of universe eras. As Divine Eye Clan grieves, Eastern Emperor. Holy Land and human race from original universe have their hopes kindled anew. Ancient ancestor from Eastern Emperor. Holy Land is talking with Blue Blood Knight and Yu Zan Master, apparently having high expectations for 2 of them. Huge Axe Creator and Primal Chaos City. Leader are talking with Luo Feng while Purple Moon. Ancestor is talking with Deerbug Master. All powers look forward to it, and burden is borne by those candidates. They have already decided to be exposed to inheritance, which is path of extremists. Those who bear best chance are Luo Feng and Blue Blood Knight, and others will almost certainly die. What they need is to pass some information back to race before they die. Huge Axe Creator looks at Luo Feng and explains it is very difficult to transcend incarnations. Even Teacher Origin could not guarantee success. He himself is still weaker than Teacher Origin, so still far from transcendence. There are only 2 holy lands after all those universe eras, so one can imagine how difficult it is. Even though he is very confident in himself, he cannot guarantee success in 3 universe eras. However, this is best chance humans have, and Luo Feng is top candidate. He continues that humans used to be weak, but under lead of Teacher, Origin started to rise and became pinnacle race among original universe. They have been through countless wars with other races, several times almost went extinct. Now humans are powerful, so countless human descendants can play in virtual universe without concerns, and have abundant resources to train themselves, making many races subsidiaries. They are strongest race, have most powerful hearts, not willing to submit to others, which is why they will not just wither away. He gazes at Luo Feng and says what they want is to exist forever and become even more powerful than 2 holy lands, rivaling ancient civilization and creating better civilization. This is great chance. Every great being has turning point before he rises, and same rules apply to race. This opportunity is critical turning point, and they are at crossroads. Fate depends on him. He stares at Luo Feng. Luo Feng nods, saying he will do everything he can. It is beautiful world with strange beasts flying as if showing off feathers. Some leave traces of fiery light while others gleam. In distance, there are shadows of strange beasts, and some show part of bodies in lakes farther away. Duandong River says standing in sky that this is space of inheritance. Every generation of Duandong River received their inheritance here. All other great beings stand behind him. Gate is already open, which means they do not have way out. However, candidates do not have mental capacity to care about that, as they are all looking forward to inheritance wholeheartedly. At same time, they are also shocked at how long space of inheritance has existed. He exclaims it is claimed to be space of inheritance, but it can absorb energies, all sorts of power including chaos airflow and universe ocean, so that space can maintain stable and so lives inside can prosper. Candidates are surprised by what he says, but accept it quickly as used to it already. Even though great beings cannot absorb chaos airflow, only miniature universes and original universe can absorb chaos airflow. This rule does not apply to ancient civilization. Just like universe boat and just like space of inheritance, it has existed for eternity. And now they will learn about inheritance. He points to distance and tells them to look. Candidates all follow. Gleaming doors show up on plane, and there are pictures on doors. One picture shows great being, controlling tens of thousands of traces of golden light to attack, and there are other scenes on other pictures. He explains inheritors of Duandong River were great at all sorts of different skills. Close combat, distant combat, weapon making. He points into distance, noting there are 820 entrances in total, and each entrance leads to different basic inheritance. One entrance only accepts one inheritor. Milky Way can choose first and Blue Blood second, and so on. This is only basic inheritance to test whether they are fit for Duandong River. Only one will be real inheritor, and he is only one who can get real core inheritance. He orders to start, looking at Luo Feng saying Milky Way starts first. Luo Feng bows and turns into beam of light approaching 820 spaces. Numerous space entrances radiating golden lights are suspended side by side in mid-air, total 820 of them. It is only basic inheritance. Yet Luo Feng did not expect to find so many different kinds. He take concrete form suspended in mid-air, his gaze sweeping across doors, radiating light as he carefully observes and tries to understand what kind of inheritance each entrance represents. This basic inheritance is not that important to the pulse of Duandong River, so it would not mean much even if passed to outsiders, which is why it is used to conduct final round of selection. Yet this basic inheritance that can be passed to outsiders because it means little to ancient civilization is something extraordinary to Luo Feng and various groups of powers in Universe Ocean. After all, this ancient civilization has been overwhelmingly powerful. The major groups can be categorized into close combat type, long-range attack type, refining true treasure type, automaton type, and miscellaneous type. His eyes sweep through everything, and for those items used to control material, objects, as well as some other strange battle methods, he classifies all of them under miscellaneous type. Close combat type, long-range attack type, and refining true treasure type are simple, and automaton type is used to control automaton weapons. On small-scale examples of automaton, weapons could be thermal weapons that Earthlings used as firearms. On larger scale, entire universe boat could be considered battleship, which is also a way of utilizing automaton-type true treasure. A battleship is automaton type. When developed to limit, could be massive. The pulse of Duandong River had countless great beings, and some who lived endless years might have other interests. So leaving behind such automaton type as basic inheritance is normal. Now it is time to choose an heir, so he carefully observes entrance of every lighted door, reasoning he should choose what he is best at. If he were to choose something unsure of, just going through entrance would take long time. The basic inheritance is merely appetizer. Core inheritance of Pulse of Duandong River is grand banquet. His eyes rest on one space entrance radiating light rays that has patterns on it, and on closer inspection one can vaguely see blurred human figure, holding blade and violently killing life forms. This apparently belongs to one of close combat types. Inheritance consisting use of blade. This is it. Since young he has been practicing blade techniques, thereafter acquiring Ghost Blade. Even after coming to own Shiwu wings, he continued to use blade techniques. Series of techniques consisting of golden light, fog light, and splitting gold are all considered blade techniques. And through studies of diagrams of secret engravings, he also created blade technique throughout entire universe. Ocean, his understanding of blades would be rated top-notch. He turns to look afar with reverence, and says he has made his choice and it shall be one behind him. Having said that, he makes his way to stand outside entrance of inheritance of blade. Behind Duandong River, over 200 great beings instantly show some displeasure because they all wanted to choose inheritance of blade. Among Universe Supreme Masters, majority are engaged in close combat. Thus, blade is definitely one of major classes of weapons. Among 200-odd great beings, many are skilled in use of blades. They all want to choose inheritance of blade. It is pity that every basic inheritance can only accept one candidate, so they have to choose something else. Duandong River says, all right, Blue Blood's turn to choose. Blue Blood Knight gives slight bow, then transforms into streak of light, flies toward suspended space, entrances and starts to choose what is most suitable for him. Next, Water Song. Candidates are sequenced to make choices based on performance during Rhinoceros Emperor game, and toward latter part remaining candidates can only grit teeth in unhappiness at few choices left for them all of, which they are unskilled in. For instance, refining true treasure type. It is highly possible final heir would emerge only as they finally manage to figure out inkling of what they are dealing with. Merely short moment later, all 200-odd great beings have made choices. Everyone suspended before chosen space entrance. All shall enter to start getting in contact with basic inheritance. Duandong River instructs in aloof manner, and moment an heir emerges, rest of candidates will be annihilated. Over 200 great beings bow with great respect, then turn around to fly into space. Entrances radiating golden rays. He watches group of candidates enter with complicated expression and mumbles to himself that space of inheritance is finally being used again. After how long? Just how long had it been? Much too long. So long that memory has started to blur. When all of this ends, he can also face own annihilation, as he no longer bears any shame toward generations of ancestors. Luo Feng flies toward space entrance, and suddenly there is change in time and space. This is chaotic world. Surroundings below filled with chaotic airflow, while atmosphere above pitch black. Only single star hung high up, radiating light that shines upon everything beneath. Treading on chaotic airflow while looking. All around him he wonders where inheritance of blade is. The star right in middle of vast. Dark sky suddenly shoots out visible light. Pillar that moves to envelop Luo Feng. He makes no attempt to shun it away, and instant light pillar enshrouds him. A cold, mechanical voice sounds, announcing core competence, activating core competence basic inheritance. Instantly large quantity of information surges into mind. Numerous blade manuals extremely detailed surge into mind. from understanding level for universe night to gradually deepening to profundity, of blade to eventually reaching level of universe supreme master. Every blade manual composed from different perspective, some based on golden space law, some based on water space law, some based on earth space law. There is even functional blade technique formed by combining three most fundamental laws of gold, water, earth. There are also some blade techniques formed by combining gold and time. There are all kinds of blade techniques, but without any laws, they cannot be combined. Total 360 blade manuals transmitted into Luo Feng's mind at once, sending him into daze, his brain seeming to slow down beneath onslaught of information. As tremendous amount of information in every manual, even if Luo Feng has godly power and willpower to help bear load of information influx, it would still take more than 2 days for complete transmission. He is stupefied, blinking, within endless time spent studying. Rhinoceros Emperor game his achievement in studies of diagrams of secret engravings greatly improved. So if he wants to create combination that could qualify as strongest, technique that should be quite easy, but if he wants to create technique at level of universe supreme master, that would be quite impossible. Yet these 360 sets of manuals, everyone explained blade technique at level of universe supreme master, and instructions always started simple progressing in complexity. Every manual contained strongest blade technique, not at all inferior to very first axe technique that huge axe creator used. This blade manual does not just simply graze surface level of universe supreme master, it actually attains limit of highest level of universe supreme master, thus does not pale in comparison to axe technique of huge axe creator, and manuals such as this. Total of 360 similar ones is pure insanity. Likely not single group could achieve such accomplishment in field of blades. Of course, these are blade techniques created by other great beings and not what Luo Feng created. So even if he were to master technique, ultimately force he executed would never be as powerful as that executed by its creator. Ultimate technique that truly suits oneself would be one's own creation. Suddenly dazzling star in dark night sky ejects 3 streams of brilliance. 3 brilliant lights each contain gigantic ice mountain. 3 towering icebergs can be seen falling from stars to land within chaotic airflow. Every ice mountain millions of kilometers tall and clear and transparent like crystal. Within every ice mountain, vague rays fly by from time to time like meteors. Within 3 icebergs, countless meteor-like rays crisscross one another to form beautiful picture. Gem nurtured by nature itself. Cold mechanical voice says, he possesses core competence, so able to draw references from 360 manuals left behind by generations of great beings, and he is first chosen candidate for this round, so can see 3 mountains of blades. Every mountain of blades contains engravings of Law of Blades. Law of Blades contains ultimate power and reveals everything of ultimate secrets. Now that he can see 3 mountains, he can learn from 360 blade manuals and try to create brand new blade technique. When blade technique reaches requirements, he will become newly appointed heir to inheritance of pulse of Donghua River. When cold mechanical voice finishes instructions, silence again prevails. He blinks at mountain of blades before him. Within 3 towering crystal-clear icebergs, countless rays, resembling meteors which are so dazzling and sparkling that several laws he comprehended earlier are outshone. Every ray resembling shooting star represents engraving of law, and every bewitching ray contains endless flow of mysteries. Simply unbelievable, it contains ultimate power. He mutters under breath. He can feel its power indeed transcends any other law and seems filled with every other law possible. This is power that transcends all other laws. All great beings within universe. Ocean have to undergo cultivation, during which they have to cultivate path of laws only. Then can they gain recognition of primal universe, to become universe knights and universe masters. But engravings of this law, these beautiful engravings that take form of meteor-like rays, are transcendent. He expresses astonishment after trying in vain to simulate 3 mountains of blades for virtual universe, but being dealt great shock instead, because too difficult. Within every iceberg, great quantity of meteor-like rays every moment, changing and changes non-repetitive. Simulating stationary image at certain moment is tough feat, even tougher to simulate moving image changing. Every moment, unless he does not Want to cultivate further. For a moment, he cannot simulate further shaking. Head about taking reference from 360 manuals, viewing mountains, comprehending blade techniques. He holds his breath. Since unable to simulate mountains, for virtual universe, he gives up simulation and puts all efforts into cultivation. His eyes drift over to 3 mountains of blades. Within mountains with frost-capped peaks, countless meteor-like rays dancing, stunning he can vaguely catch. Sight of dancing rays of blade as various blade. Techniques float into view. He cannot withhold shocked expression. These are indeed engravings of laws of blades, definitely worthy enough to contain ultimate power. He is multitasking, though. While observing mountains, he also studies various blade manuals, countless blade techniques flashing across memory. He feels heartbeats and countless meteor-like rays. Amidst mountains seem to faintly form blades moving along with heartbeats. Only upon understanding could one see deeper secrets. These 3 mountains of blades are like 3 most ancient and powerful great masters of blades, every blade already reached ultimate but too profound to be fathomed. Luo Feng requires support from 360 blade, manuals to gradually unveil 3 mountains, and in that process his internalized information on blade techniques continuously rises.